Bad habits are not easily dropped. But let me assure you that relevant security agencies will be reminded of their duties in preventing these bad practices and safeguarding people like you who go about your legitimate businesses.
Tough times for tax evaders as federal government spreads darkness.
This is a promise delivered by my principal, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to clean up Ogoni land, improve on the life of the people of the Niger Delta and Nigeria in general.
Ogoni cleanup takes off. Contractors take oversight. International community shows more interest in Nigeria's general elections as Buhari Media Organization advises Atiku to give up. Good evening and welcome to NTA Network News. I am Juma Yusuf. Reading with me tonight is Dotun in Lagos. Traditional rulers and other critical stakeholders in Nigeria's southwest region have been commended for setting the example of religious harmony, peaceful coexistence and unity of purpose worthy of emulation. President Muhammadu Buhari made the commendation while exchanging views with royal fathers from the area. He urged them to use their influence in supporting efforts at securing the country and ensuring a peaceful conduct of the forthcoming elections. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the rest of the story.
President Muhammadu Buhari said his administration places high esteem on traditional rulers as custodians of culture, pillars of socio-economic development, and pivot around which the nation's security rests.
I must in particular thank Your Royal Majesties for your support for our government in every way. I am very much encouraged. Your support makes me even more determined to work with the best of my ability for this country and its people.
In furtherance of his commitment to infrastructural development across Nigeria, the president said at least one major road project is ongoing in every state of the country, while in the southwest, the government is completing the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway and pushing forward the Lagos-Kano Railway, as well as some critical power projects, especially in Ondo State.
Corruption has been the reason why, despite so much money made by governments over the years, we cannot see the tangible infrastructural development. Our country can only develop if we honestly spend the resources of the country on the people and the facilities that would promote commerce and create jobs. We can do more with less money if we stop the stealing of Nigerians' resources.
On the forthcoming elections, President Buhari appealed to the royal fathers to work assiduously for peaceful conduct.
Our young people must not be left to those who will instigate violence and leave the country for others to lose their property or lives. We are determined to keep order, and I hope Your Highnesses are on the same page with us.
The delegation, led by the Ogoni of Ife and co-chairman of the National Council of Traditional Rulers, Oba Adeye Ogunwusi, thanked President Buhari for the unprecedented strides in the development of critical infrastructure in the southwest, posthumous recognition of the late MKO Abiola and Chief Gani Fawahimi, as well as the support, trust, and confidence on Vice President Yemi Osinbajo in discharging his responsibilities.
You are doing your very best as Mr. President of our dear nation, and these are things that the eye can see. We want you to serve the country the more. We believe you can do it.
You have shown us in the last 3.5 years, almost 4 years, what leadership is all about in Africa. I'm very proud of you.
We can never stop thanking you for promoting that culture that you hold very dear, of integrity, of transparency, of ensuring that the age of money politics, doing business as usual, that those days are over. So we pray that God will continue to help you to take Nigeria to the next level that you have promised the whole nation.
The royal fathers presented a special gift to the president as a symbol of their appreciation for his leadership, as well as encouragement to do more for Nigeria and Nigerians. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Now, honesty is said to be the soul of business, and this time Vice President Yemi Osinbajo observes that this has been lacking in the governance of the country until the emergence of the Buhari administration on the scene. This was when the Vice President paid a courtesy visit to the Emir of Kaltungo, where he emphasized the need for Nigerians to re-elect President Muhammadu Buhari. State House correspondent Jide Onifadi reports.
This is Kaltungo, a major town in Gombe State. People are farmers faced with challenges, including incidences of snake bites and ecological issues.
The cry of children here in Kaltungo is so common because of snakes. For somebody to get a complete dose of anti-snake venom, you have to spend about 90,000 naira. Our people are poor, they are farmers, they cannot afford it. If we can help us and reestablish and bring back the anti-snake production laboratory, that will be fine.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo describes Kaltungo as a special place with rich traditions and historical background. He says as responsible government, the role is not only to preserve the people's tradition, but to work for the advancement. The Buhari administration, he says, would not shy away from its responsibilities, but do what it ought to do.
We are determined to tell the Nigerian people everywhere we go that the next elections is about whether we want, is about the future of our country. This 2019 election is about the future. It's not about Muhammadu Buhari, it's about the future of our country. Our country must have honest, righteous leadership, a man who does not steal the money of the state and who will not allow it to be stolen.
Urging the people to vote for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari, he explains that the president is providing the type of leadership the country needs at this point in time.
I want to emphasize that the reason why we believe that a second term is important is because it's important for our country to have a period or even a long period of honest and truthful leadership. The problem of our country, Your Royal Highness, has never been ideas. It has never been projects. Projects are started, they are not completed. There are so many good ideas. It is honest leadership that is the problem of our country.
A sign of gratitude for the visit and provision of infrastructure such as roads by the federal government in the area, this well-decorated horse was presented by the monarch to the vice president. In Kaltungo, Gombe State, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the federal government says it will not abdicate its responsibility in not only protecting but also enhancing the growth and development of legitimate business concerns that hold very important place in the nation's economic well-being. President Muhammadu Buhari was stated this while granting audience to the national executive members of the Amalgamated Union of Foodstuff and Cattle Dealers on a courtesy visit, promised proactive steps towards ending illegal tax collections. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
Members of the Amalgamated Union of Foodstuff and Cattle Dealers, led by their national president Ali Tahir, were on the visit to draw the attention of President Muhammadu Buhari to what they call challenges of multiple taxation on the nation's highways, which negatively affect the running of their legitimate businesses. They say through the mountain of roadblocks by unknown persons in parts of the northeast, southeast and south-south, their members lose millions of naira daily and called for government intervention towards ending the unhealthy practice. President Muhammadu Buhari described as appalling the persistence of illegal tax collections in the country, especially on the highways.
Bad habits are not easily dropped. But let me assure you that relevant security agencies will be reminded of their duties in preventing these bad practices and safeguarding people like you who go about your legitimate businesses. I will take up all your appeals and complaints in due course, and together I will state governments we will attend to your proposals.
The president maintained that the real wealth of the nation's economy lies in agriculture and livestock production, and therefore urged members of the union to be proud of their line of business that is critical to the economy. The forum also provided the opportunity for members of the union to formally appreciate the revolutionary initiatives of the Buhari presidency in various sectors of the country's economy and pledged unalloyed commitment to the next level movement.
We look forward to joining the trend that will, inshallah, bring you back to office later this year.
I must thank you for your energetic support to our campaigns in 2015, and I am very pleased that you are determined to support us this year as well. I am grateful.
Members of the union made a case for the establishment of a food and livestock market along Lagos-Ogun rail and expressways to provide ready market for the millions of farmers empowered by the present administration. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
In another development, the Minister of Environment, Suleiman Hassan, has formally handed over Ogoni cleanup to EPO Unique Integrated Contractor. He charged the contractors to cooperate with the host community to ensure speedy completion of the project.
We are contractors are going to be protected, and we have also received assurances from our contractors further to their competencies, which was established before they were given this assignment. We have also received assurances of quick delivery of this project and good conduct, peaceful coexistence with their host community. This is a promise delivered by my principal, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to clean up Ogoni land, improve on the life of the people of the Niger Delta and Nigeria in general.
The handover ceremony is coming up after the launch of the cleanup exercise on the 2nd of June 2019 by President Muhammadu Buhari. Now, gallant troops of 7th Division Garrison carrying out cordon and search operations in conjunction with the troops of 195 Battalion, mobile policemen and civilian JTF in some parts of the fringes of Maiduguri today discovered and arrested a wanted Boko Haram terrorist group member called Baba Gana Abubakar, aka Alagarno, hiding at Bulabulum Garnam community. A statement signed by the Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Sani Kukasheka Usman, indicates that the terrorists was found hiding in a room in possession of 2 military ballistic helmets, a pair of military desert boots, a fragment jacket, a jersey pullover, military backpack, camouflage design shorts, 2 voters' identification cards, national identification card, amulets, camouflage t-shirts and military jungle hats, and has since been handed out to the moved out of the area for further interrogation. The Acting General Officer commanding 7th Division, who is also the Commander Sector 1 of Operation Lafia Doli, also visited the troop and conveyed the Theatre Commander Operation Lafia Doli's commendation to them for the painstaking efforts and professionalism. Still on security, Gallant 17. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, says Nigeria Air Force will continue to ensure safety, peace and security in Agatu community. The Air Staff affirmed this on this operation visit to the 21 NAF Quick Response Wing in Agatu local government area of Benue State. Charles Abba reports.
Yes, there have been series of attacks on communities of Agatu local government area of Benue State by suspected armed bandits. It is to tackle this menace that the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Marshal Sadiq Abubakar established this quick response wing of the Nigerian Air Force, and it is to assess the operation of this establishment that the Chief of Air Staff is now paying an operational visit to this area.
Our desire as a professional service is to protect communities and to show compassion to them and to ensure that they are secured. And from what we have discussed, I'm very happy with what has happened so far.
Traditional ruler of Agatu, Chief Godwin Honor, lauded the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, and indeed the federal government for being committed to the peace and security of the area.
Since they came in, we have had peace in the entire Agatu community.
The Chief of Air Staff visited the Tactical Air Command, Nigerian Air Force, Makudi, where he announced that the airport is ready for civil operation after the rehabilitation of the runway.
We apologize for the mix-up. 17th Brigade Nigerian Army Katsina has flagged off a field training exercise nicknamed Python Dance 3 as an internal security strategy to optimize the ongoing Operation Sharon Daji to flush out bandits and other security threats by the military in the northwest of Nigeria. Governor Aminu Bello Masari inaugurated the operational theater at Makada village, Batagarawa local government area in Katsina State. Correspondent Bashir Ibrahim Nabi has details.
Flagging of the exercise, Governor Masari reiterates commitment of their administration to provide the army and other security agencies all the necessary support to enable them achieve their set objectives.
The security agencies also, in continuation with their effort of this Sharandaji operation, were bringing the Niger security agencies and other security operators in the country to have a united and well-coordinated operation.
Addressing the combined security team, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukurutai, represented, says the security arrangement is to complement existing operations undertaken by the military to decimate and rid the frontline states of banditry, kidnapping, armed robbery, and other forms of criminality.
The aim of this objective, which is mainly for training, but with the possibility of translating into real-time exercise, is to ensure that the Northwest Zone, and indeed the entire country, is rid of all the criminal elements that have been terrorizing our innocent citizens for some time now.
In Katsina, Bashir Ibrahim Nababa, NTA.
Our first break beckons. NTA Network News will be back in a moment.
You know, from day one, Globe makes life easier. They brought us per second billing, unbelievable data packages, and even an optic fiber cable to make sure we optimize. There are two things in our lives we depend on: the communication and information, voice and data. Whether you sell, buy, learn, teach, serve, or lead, it really comes down those two things: voice or data. Today's world is all about you. You want what you want, how you want it, and Glow delivers. The freedom to use voice and data the way you like on every recharge. Easy.
Glow Yakata. Recharge 100 Naira and get 2,200 Naira. Minimum 500 Naira to call all networks and 10 friends and family. Plus all the data you need. Up to 6 gigabytes. Buy a Glow SIM or dial *220# to migrate. Glow, Grandmasters of Data.
Election 2019 is here.
This is a clarion call to all Nigerians by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. On February 16, 2019, presidential and National Assembly elections will be conducted nationwide. Similarly, on March 2, 2019, governorship and state assembly elections will take place. INEC is committed to making the 2019 general elections the best we have ever had. Credible persons are being recruited and trained to handle polling units and collation centers at all levels. Our card readers have been upgraded and will be deployed to all polling units to prevent voter impersonation. We will involve technology in the conduct of elections to prevent fraud. Your votes will count. Join hands with the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Let's make Nigeria proud. This message is from the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. INEC, making your votes count, consolidating our democracy.
The 5,000 naira where we need to buy UTME form for Junior, he never complete.
Mama Junior, President Muhammadu Buhari don't reduce price of UTME and DE form from 5,000 naira to 3,500 naira, excluding the money for reading text. JAMB go begin sell 2019 UTME and direct entry application form from January 10 to February 21, 2019. The exam go sell for 16 to 23 March. For general detail, make una go to ibas.jamb.gov.ng or download the app from Google Play Store. To register by form, text surname, first name plus middle name to 55019. JAMB go send profile code wey get 10 character. Now this profile code candidate go fill when they pay for JAMB form. After payment, candidate go receive e-pin for him phone. Now this e-pin candidate go take go any accredited JAMB CBT center to complete online registration. Don't use another person phone number to take register.
JAMB, enhancing academic excellence.
Women and Youth Presidential Campaign Team. The Southeast Women and Youth Zonal Rally for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. Venue, Dan Anyam Stadium, Owerri. Date, Saturday, 12th January 2019. Time, 9 a.m. In attendance will be wife of the President, Her Excellency Dr. Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, wife of the Vice President, Her Excellency Mrs. Dolapo Osinbajo, APC Deputy National Coordinator South, Barrister Juliet Ibekaku Nwagu, APC Southeast Women Leaders, all APC Zonal and State Women Leaders, all elected APC officials, all APC members, Chief Host, Her Excellency Mrs. Nkechi Rochas Okorocha, wife of the Governor Imo State and Zonal Leader Southeast, Announcer Hajia Salamatu Baiwa Umar Eluma.
But we lost. Don't be tired, guys. This isn't a loss. It's a practice for winning.
Nothing makes a mother prouder than seeing her child growing up. But I know as he learns to lead, he'll face even more dirt, germs, and risk of illness.
That's why in changing seasons, you need strong Dettol protection. Because Dettol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
Bamidele Alabi Adegbite, Oba Oshao, concerning the construction of Jeba Eyen Quarry Road, which was abandoned for so many years that the road was not passable before. Almost 5 hours before getting to Jeba from Shao here, when the road was not constructed. But now, within 45 minutes, I can get to Jeba.
My name is Alhaji Abdul Qadir Alabi Adibara, the Oba of Jeba. We people living here, we have to thank federal government for job down to repair the road, which made it easier for us to travel from Jeba to Ilorin and back.
This is NTA Network News reaching you live from Abuja. Now, Abuja Central Mosque played host to top government functionaries, service chiefs and the armed forces to pray for soldiers who paid the supreme price in the line of duty to ensure peace and stability of the country. The 2 rakat prayers were thereafter observed. The military were commended for their gallantry and dedication in the discharge of their duties.
It's a special day for prayers for them and also for prayers for peaceful coexistence in this country. And of course, in every war situation, certainly you have casualties, including death. And so it is for us to appreciate those sacrifices made by the fallen heroes.
The Jumat prayers is part of activities lined up for the 2019 Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Meanwhile, Ogun State Governor Ibinkule Amosu has urged the people of the state to turn out en masse and vote for President Buhari in the February presidential election. This was the thrust of the governor's message as he commenced his word towards senatorial campaign in Ewekoro local government area of the state. Lenkon Ambode reports.
Moving from coast to coast, the senatorial campaign train of Governor Ibinkule Amosu toured the 10 wards in Ewekoro local government area of the state as he commences word-to-word campaign. From Obada to Awowo to Wasimi, Papa, Elere and other wards in the local government area, the enthusiastic people of the area welcomed the campaign team amidst pomp and pageantry. Expressing his desire to continuously serve and give his best to his people, Amosu promised to further make use of his experience in government to make life easier and better for the people of the senatorial district. Governor Amosu, while urging the people to jealously protect their franchise by not allowing anybody to deceive them and rob them of their PVC in the name of unrealistic promises, he enjoined them to rather come out en masse and cast their votes.
It's not just my election, no. The very first one that we must all do is the one for President Muhammadu Buhari.
Leaders and people of the area say the resume of the governor placed him in good stead to further engender good governance in favor of the people if elected. In Abeokuta, Lekon Agbonde, NTA News.
Thank you, Lekon. Former Deputy National Chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Senator Babayo Gamawa, has been appointed Director General of the All Progressives Congress Governorship Campaign Council in Bauchi State. Mahmoud Ibn Muhammad reports that Kaulala Aliu, a former board of trustee member of the PDP, will chair the campaign council in Abuja North Senatorial Zone. The report.
Senator Babayo Gamawa, who was until recently the Deputy National Chairman of the People's Democratic Party, got appointed as the Director General of the APC Governorship Campaign Council in Bauchi State, alongside other 123 members. The campaign council, to be chaired by Governor Muhammad Abubakar, has former Governor of Bauchi State, Isai Guda, as member, amongst other frontline members of the party.
Activities have already commenced in earnest. I therefore call on all and sundry, especially members of our great party, the APC, to be law-abiding. I wish to commend all party members for the maturity they exhibited in the past years in the face of increasing provocation.
I will never allow my integrity to be used against the unity of my state and the nation at large.
Meanwhile, the member representing Ogoro constituency in Bauchi State House of Assembly, Marcus Makama, has left the People's Democratic Party for the ruling All Progressives Congress. The member, accompanied by his supporters, made the declaration at the Government House, Bauchi. In Bauchi, Mahmoud Ibn Muhammad, NTA News.
Still on politics, APC stakeholders from Akwa Ibom South Senatorial District have reaffirmed their support for President Muhammadu Buhari's re-election in view of his positive impact, particularly in the fight against corruption. They also describe as competent and service-oriented the APC governorship candidate in Akwa Ibom State, Ogon Isema Ekere. Miriam Vincent Oko, who was at a press briefing organized by Akwa Ibom South Senatorial District Strategic Leadership Forum, has details.
The group, which says they are committed to ensuring the emergence of a leader who will take Akwa Ibom State to the next level, stated that their support for the APC governorship candidate, Ogon Isema Ekere, stems from his resilient, innovative and pragmatic leadership style. As members of the candidate's immediate constituency, the group said, having served as deputy governor between 2011 and 2012, Ogon Ekere's capability to transform Akwa Ibom State is not in doubt. They therefore pledged their commitment to the emergence of President Muhammadu Buhari for a second term.
We, the strategic leadership forum, have decided to pitch our tent with Ogon Isema Ekere, governorship candidate of All Progressive
Congress. We have to protect and preserve the values which are strength in diversity.
Immediate past Deputy Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Lady Valerie Ebe, urges Nigerians to vote massively for President Muhammadu Buhari, going by his vision to take Nigeria to the next level.
If we are to think right, we should know that we have a president that we should give a second term, and that will be very good for Nigeria.
In Uyo, Mary and Vincent Oko, NTA News.
Now, thousands of All Progressives Congress members in Kwara State trooped to the streets of Ilorin to mobilize voters ahead of the forthcoming elections. APC governorship candidate in the state, Abdurrahman Abdurrazak, who led the rally, promised to address the issue of new minimum wage if voted into office. Iyabode Olorunshola reports.
The rally, which took off along Fate Road, was taken to the interior of Ilorin metropolis, such as Okelele, Adeta, Pakata, Okekura, and Ojoba, before it was rounded off at the party secretariat along Jeba Road. Abdurazak Abdurrahman, in his campaign promises, said that workers and state pensioners' welfare will be given top priority if he was given the mandate to rule the state.
They can't pay salaries for, 6 months? Even when they pay salaries, they pay in percentages. So candidates can offer heaven and earth, and they don't know what's in the treasury. When we're doing the transition program, after we have won the election by the grace of God, we'll address the issue.
He urged all eligible voters in the state to vote for all candidates on the platform of the All Progressive Congress. Iyabode Olorunshola, NTA News.
Now to electoral matters, as the election petition tribunal that sat on the petition filed by the candidate of the PDP in the Lokoja, Kogi, Katankarfe Federal Constituency by-election in Kogi State has dismissed the petition and affirmed the election of Haruna Isa of the All Progressives Congress. Austin Anyebe reports.
The petitioners, Basiru Abubakar and the People's Democratic Party, approached the election petition tribunal after the August 11, 2018 by-election in Lokoja, Kogi, Kotonkarofi Federal Constituency, praying the court to nullify the election on the grounds of non-compliance with the electoral guidelines in the conduct of the election and irregularities that characterize the exercise. The tribunal discountenanced the criminal allegation of forgery against government officials on the ground that they were not given opportunity to defend themselves. The tribunal held that even if there was a rerun election in the affected polling units, the first respondent, Haruna Isa of All Progressive Congress, would still have won, as the total number of voters with PVC in the 17 polling units are less than 9,000, whereas the margin between the petitioner Bashir Abubakar and the winner Haruna Isa was more than 12,000 votes. Thus dismissed the entire petition and affirmed the election of Haruna Isa of the All Progressive Congress.
Therefore, even if INEC had rescheduled an election there, it will make no meaning, because it will not change the fortunes or the misfortunes in the election.
From the Federal High Court, Lokoja, venue of the tribunal sitting, I'm Austin Anyebe, NTA News.
The European Union Election Observer Mission Nigeria 2019 is discussing with key stakeholders on the need for a peaceful general elections in the country. Members of the team were at the National Secretariat of the People's Democratic Party in Abuja, where they emphasized issues-based campaign to ensure violence-free elections. Simoti Yusuf reports.
The European Union Deputy Chief Observer Mission Nigeria 2019, Hannah Roberts, says they were invited by the Independent National Electoral Commission to observe and make recommendations towards improving the electoral process.
With recommendations that we hope will be considered by the Parliament, by INEC, by others, in order to make future elections even better.
The People's Democratic Party subscribe to all the tenets of democracy.
Meanwhile, the PDP held a National Women Conference in Abuja with participants demanding 40% affirmative action from the party's presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar if he wins the forthcoming presidential election.
We are here today to fine-tune and review our implementation plan. Great Nigerian women!
The PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar and members of the presidential campaign organization said the PDP is poised to deliver on its campaign promises and urged women to vote for the party. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NT News.
Still on politics, the Buhari Media Organization BMO has advised the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party PDP, Atiku Abubakar, to consider throwing in the towel in order to avoid a shattering defeat at the polls in February. The group gave this advice in reaction to the defection of 4 top notches of the PDP to All Progressives Party Congress, APC. In a statement signed by its chairman, Ni Akisiju, and Secretary Cassidy Maduke, the party says the way and manner Atiku Abubakar, as well as its party, are losing support of prominent members of the party to team with President Buhari is unbecoming. The group says they have nothing but sympathy for Atiku and his party and believe it may be ideal for the PDP candidate to pull out of the presidential race. In line with what President Buhari said in a recent interview with this days Board of Editors on defection to ruling party, BMO added that, contrary to the impression created by PDP elements to water down their loss, none of the politicians who may have joined the ruling party to escape the glare of anti-graft agencies would be spared if found to have pending corruption cases. It's now time to join Dotun in our Lagos Center for more news from that zone. Good evening, Dotun.
Good evening and thank you, Jumai. A warm welcome to Lagos. The Nigerian Railway Corporation has debunked rumors that passengers died from the train accident that occurred Thursday in Agege area of Lagos, stating that the organization has commenced a preliminary investigation to ascertain the circumstances surrounding the incident. Jane Ojukwu, who spoke to the managing director of the corporation, Mr. Fidet Okira, and some passengers, now reports.
The 11-coach train, which was traveling to Ebute-Metta, Lagos from Iju, was said to have had one of its coaches fall off the track and another 2 derailing. But fortunately, there was no fatality, as have been speculated by some media platforms.
We thank God that there was no casualty. We had only 1 injury that was taken to our clinic and treated by a doctor, and later he went home. From the preliminary investigation was that on Tuesday night, a trailer pulled what we call a guide rail from the level crossing, and our men went there to walk. We are still trying to download the data from the locomotive to know whether the driver was beyond the speed limit or not.
Meanwhile, services on the route have been restored. Passengers react to the incident.
It does make me scared because I really don't know what I'm going to face while on transit.
The frequent train traveler, so it's nothing to me.
Some of them seized the opportunity to appeal to the management of the railway to do all within its power to avoid a recurrence. Despite the incident, the passengers and indeed the railway management insist that rail transport remains the safest means of transportation. In Lagos, Jane Ojukwu, NTA News.
Governorship candidates of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and his People's Democratic Party, PDP counterpart, Jimmy Agbaje, say if voted into power, the private sector will continue to be the engine room of the economy of the state. They stated this at an interactive session with operators in the private sector organized by the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Tunde Saiki has details.
The Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, as part of its contribution to political leadership in Lagos State, decided to organize an interactive session with the 2 major political contenders in Lagos State, the APC and the PDP governorship candidates. The forum was to hear firsthand the developmental strategy and programs both candidates have for the private sector in the state.
It's very clear that whichever of these candidates become governor, they know that the private sector is a necessary partner in the progress, and they know that they are also accountable to the people.
It's against this background that the candidates took turn to reel out their manifestos. They both assure the private sector of maximum cooperation if they get voted in as governor.
That it's time to look at the infrastructure and to tell the private sector that, look, we need to think big. It's about bold ideas.
A consultative engagement with stakeholders in the private sector to go about a roadmap that is measurable, that is smart, that is articulate, and that it is result-oriented.
At At the question and answer session, the candidates were presented the opportunity to give a comprehensive breakdown of their campaign promises. Transportation management, power, health, education and revenue generation were highlighted. Their presentations elicited applause from the audience. In Lagos, Tunde Saiki, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. More reports ahead after this timeout. Please.
Next. Lagbaja. Omo baba muko.
Na baba be that.
How do I know you are not an impostor? Oya, play me something.
Abba, my band members are all over the world. Let me connect with them on Glow 4G and make some great music for you.
Who's on Glow here?
I got Glow.
Well, I've got Glow too.
I go show you.
Hello, sir.
Aleki, Gogo, Jide, guitar. Uzo, give me conga. Ahmed, keyboard.
1, 2, 3.
No matter where you are in the world, rest assured, Glow has you covered. Glow Ogasi, the unrivaled big boss of data. Upgrade to a 4G SIM for free and get 125% bonus. Also enjoy 25% data bonus on all auto renewals. Dial *777# to choose a...
If you want a great Nigeria with a greater future, with hope and strength, election 2019 is here. It's our only hope. Election for a greater tomorrow. Election for a better Nigeria. Election 2019 is here.
Good people of Nigeria, the general elections are here again. Be good Nigerians. Let's do what is right. Do not sell your vote. Do not buy anybody's vote. Vote buying and selling amount to bribery. They are criminal acts and election malpractices. Offenders will be arrested, prosecuted, and jailed. So vote according to your conscience. Shun all forms of election malpractices. Vote for the candidate of your choice. This message is from the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. INEC, making your votes count, consolidating our democracy.
For a better Nigeria, election 2019 is here.
Sore throats, it's often caused by bacteria and viruses. Feels like they're having a party. You need Strepsils. It soothes the pain, plus it fights the germs with 2 germ-killing actives. Double power in 1 lozenge. Bye-bye sore throat. Take Strepsils.
Helen!
Hey, where's your mom?
Today is her toilet day.
What?
Helen!
Toilet day?
Tomorrow you're hosting a party and it's a matter of my reputation.
Even if you spend your entire day cleaning with all this, it still won't be party ready.
Impossible!
Challenge? New Ticker Harpic 10X. Even if you use the solution 10 times, it won't give you the same cleaning like Harpic because its new Ticker formulation sticks to the bowl better, giving you a sparkling clean toilet.
Wow!
New Harpic 10X
gives me the freedom from toilet day.
And GoTenna and 1 month of GoTV Max subscription for only 6,900 Naira. GoTV. Live it, love it.
Nigeria, a land of promise, land of potential, rich in oil, arable land and solid minerals. Yet hunger, joblessness, homelessness and poverty are widespread. Over the years, Nigeria has suffered from hospitals without drugs, schools without teachers, and a huge infrastructure deficit. Clearly, we are yet to reach our full potential. And one of the reasons is because people choose bad leaders. Some even sell their conscience for a few thousand naira. For 2019 elections, don't sell your vote. Don't sell your future. Don't buy the people's lives. Vote selling is a crime against yourself. You will spend the next 4 years paying for it.
Vote buying is against the law. Politicians, stop buying votes. People, stop selling your future. This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
Thanks for staying with NTA Network News. Stakeholders advocate improved participation by key industry players for improved investment in the renewable energy sector. Chimobi Walter Inaji is with that story on the business. What else do we have on the business news?
Thank you, Jemai. A lot of things are actually trending on the business news. Now, despite the huge business opportunities embedded in the renewable energy sector, some climate change experts have advocated a sustainable climate change policy that will ensure a robust investment in the sector, propelled by the huge energy deficit experienced in the country and Africa at large. With the international community adopting renewable energy solutions, the opportunity in the market cannot be underestimated, hence the need for local industries in Nigeria to be well positioned to provide the needed revolution in the sector.
About how it can grow its economy, but in a way that makes it climate resilient. For example, in terms of agriculture, how can we mechanize our agriculture? How can we improve the seedlings that we plant so that they will be resilient to climate change?
Meanwhile, experts say for Nigeria to experience the needed revolution in the agricultural sector, farmers must add value to their products through agricultural mechanization. Now, this is because the major challenge facing the sector is inadequate equipment to turn the products into finished goods and further add value to the products, making it worthy to compete with other products in the international market.
Farmers' face basically is, before now, what they do basically is sell raw materials, raw products out of the country. That's not what we need. What we need right now is, apart from the fact that we are producing, we should be adding value. And when we are talking about value addition, that's when agro machines, processing equipment comes in. We need to add value to what we are producing.
And to the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the capital market closed last trading of the week on the green, gaining 1.06% to close the day with an all-share index of 29,830.70 basis points. A volume of 206.3 million naira was traded in the 3,538 deals. Market capitalization stood at 11.12 trillion naira. Now, those are the stories making the rounds today on the business cycle. Jumei.
Thank you, Jimobi. It's now time to take our third break, and Network News returns shortly.
Before we came into National Homegrown School Feeding Program, we are only producing 2 bags of flour. Now we are producing up to 40 to 50 bags of food breads to children per day.
Before, we could sell the sachet juice and some of our materials at about 4 trucks per week, 6 trucks. But with homegrown now, we are going to about 14 trucks per week. Because of the national homegrown school feeding, we had to add additional 150 staff in order to cope with the time and then the production capacity.
We really praise the present administration under the General Muhammadu Buhari for creating National Homegrown School Feeding Program.
Kudos to the federal government.
Thank you.
Inna lillahi wa inna illahi raji'un. The Emir of Ilorin and the head of the Alimi dynasty, Al-Haji Ibrahim Sulu Gambari, CFR, Chairman, Kwara State Council of Emirs and Obas, wishes to announce with heavy heart but gratitude to the Almighty Allah the passing away of Al-Haji Ibrahim Folorunsho Kawu Agaka, the first Dan Iya of Ilorin, aged 87 years. The 8-day fidal prayers of the repose of the soul of the late Daudu of Agaka comes up on Sunday, the 13th of this month at the Emir's Palace, beginning from 10 o'clock in the morning, to be led by the Chief Chief Imam of Ilorin, Sheikh Dr. Muhammad Bashir Salihu, OON, and other prominent Islamic scholars, and he is survived by wives, children, grandchildren, and relatives. The deceased worked in various sectors of the then Ilorin Native Authority before being appointed as the Private Secretary of the Ilorin Emirates Council in the year 1975. He was turbaned the first Dan Iya of Ilorin in November 1993. May his gentle soul rest in perfect peace. His Royal Highness Al-Haji Dr. Ibrahim Sulu Gambari, CFR, Emir of Ilorin, announcer.
Now, Abuja National Stadium Gymnasium to receive a boost as new season of Nigerian Professional Football League kicks off weekend. Kene Ima Abodike has details on Sports Update.